Welcome to another episode of Bourbon and Channel Hunters. This is my first time hosting. My name is Pete Anderson, one of the co-founders of Channel Hunters and also the COO. We're here today to talk to someone who's experienced our services, Astoria, an MSP from Columbus, Ohio.
Well, for the listeners and the watchers out there, I'm Nate Sheen, founder of Astoria, based in Alliance, Ohio, in the Cleveland and Columbus region. And happy to be here with you tonight, Pete.
Thank you, Nate. I appreciate it. The pursuit is what a lot of MSP owners don't have the time for. Mm-hmm. So I think that's the biggest part of our value add is that we give you your time back. Right?
Yeah, no, and I was always a hunter. Like, that's what I did. I was the guy who pulled doors, 100 doors every day. I was top of the top sales guys in the company before I started this. And I thought, well, there's nothing the world can throw at me. I can build this business. And I did that for a while, but you hit a capacity at a certain point, and it's just like, I can't do everything, and I have to know everything, and it's exhausting.
It is. We heard about it a lot at the recent event that we were attending right here in Columbus, right? A lot of MSP owners feel that they have to not only be the person who is the owner of the company, but they have to do everything else. Yep. And at some point that becomes overwhelming. It's too much for anybody, right? You talked about your sales experience, right? That's the reason why we get along so well.
Yes.
Because a lot of the MSPs we talk to, they don't have any sales experience. They're great technicians. They're great technology people. They can talk about technology all day, but sometimes that goes over the head of a lot of the people they're speaking with. Mm-hmm. So how do you overcome tech talk when you're pitching your services to a potential client?
Well, kind of my goal is to be the most incompetent person in the...
Yes.
And I think that really corresponds well with the client. So I can go a little deeper when I need to, but typically they just want to know that somebody cares and somebody's going to look into it, somebody's going to motivate the team to make it happen. And I hired way smarter people than me to do all of this. And I just surround myself with really good people, and I'm really based upon the relationship, and that Nate's gonna drive this home, or Nate's processes are gonna make this happen. And that's what I believe is really our value proposition.
As a good entrepreneur should, you gotta put the right people around you. That's why we have that's part of what I hope you've experienced as well. You know, we have some fantastic people here as well, and I could go on for a long time about the great people, but you know, George Sexton, our director of partner success, Helen Rivers, our director of sales and marketing. You've met both of them. You talked to both of them. They've been here for quite a while, and they've been a huge part of our progress that we made over the last couple of years. What was it that made you kind of pull the trigger to work with Channel Hunters in the first place, for another hunting analogy?
So Helen cornered me. And
he was going for a drink. That's it.
There you go.
Helen cornered. No, it was really. I think it was really. It took me a while. I'm not typically a trusting person, but I think that's how a lot of people even try MSP.
Yeah.
So I think I met you back in 24.
2-3 years ago. Yeah.
So it took a little while, and then kind of run across you again, and run across you again, and it's finally like, okay, let's try this. And I had tried BDR services with somebody else that had gone very terribly, and I was like, I don't know if that's gonna ever be for me again. And having a good conversation with Helen and understanding the process and everything, and just really giving it a chance really made the difference for me.
That's awesome. I'm glad that we gained your trust. I agree, and I talk about the IT channel all the time. You know, I travel to these shows once a month. I'm so passionate about it because it's unlike any other industry in the world as far as I'm concerned, because everybody's so inclusive in the IT channel. It's not about themselves, it's about, let me show you how I do this so that you can do better. And I feel like that you've experienced that yourself. So I think that us growing that relationship organically a little bit over a couple of years, even if it was only every once in a while that we were around each other, we gained your trust, right? And I hope that now we're solidifying that with the results.
Yeah, I think that's important in helping strengthen, that part of the sales process that you're involved in, that hunting piece, and what are we really looking for, and getting that together has really helped us be better to communicate. This is what we want. This is what we need. This is what we're looking for, and just getting better along the way. I think anybody who knows that they do MSP sales, it's not the first or second meeting. Sometimes it's 5, 6, 7, 8 meetings later, and we finally get it across the finish line. The longest one that took me 2.5 years to get them to sign.
Yes.
And it wasn't that they didn't want to sign. Everything just kept moving, and it's just the way it goes. And it takes a lot of time to build those relationships. And I said, well, the only way I'm going to hit the goals and scale is I need more of those.
Yeah.
I need more of those to be working on at the same time.
Right. That's perfect. There's no doubt that goes hand in hand with the success you've had with us so far. And we have a lot of partners that have had very similar success to you. But what I like about what you're doing is that you're taking every opportunity and looking at it for what it's worth and how you can get to the next step with them, right? I talk to a lot of MSPs who spend more time disqualifying leads than they do qualifying them. Mm-hmm. So can you tell me a little more about that? You mentioned your sales process. What is it that you do in the first meeting that we book for you that may differentiate you from some of the other people? I know you may not know much about that, but of what everybody else is doing. But I'm telling you, there's something you're doing that's better than what everybody else is.
Well, I appreciate that. I think it's just being curious with it. I can go into discovery meetings, what we call that first one. There's literally 9 pages worth of questions. I would never ask them out all that.
Right.
But it's if we talk about this, here's some cues. If we talk about this, here's some cues. And I'm just very, very curious. I'm not here to tell you anything about me. Tell me. This is how I would start it. Hi, Pete. I'm Nate. We're going to talk about you today.
Yep.
Tell me a little about you. Where'd you start? How'd you end up in this company? Why is this company important to you? I want to know as much about them as possible because long term, I want to come alongside them as a partner and I want to help their business be better. And the only way I can do that is to really understand the entire business, not just exactly how they buy IT. IT is an aspect of it, but what things are you manufacturing? What are the people where do you service? Do you service people worldwide or is it just US? Is it just Ohio? What does that mean? So I want to understand the whole picture to make sure that it's a good fit for me and a good fit for them.
So would you say that in that first meeting, no matter where it comes from, you spend a lot of time asking questions? Is that what you're saying? Like you're trying to find stuff out about them. Mm-hmm. Not so much in the traditional sense of what people think of as a discovery call, because at Channel Hunters we vet a lot of what we're doing prior to sending it over to you, right? We've asked them a lot of questions before that, and we give you that in the form of the hunting sheet, right? Yeah. So you're armed with some information already.
Right.
But do you go into that meeting and hey, I need to find out more about them, like you just said, right?
Yeah, I would say that you've kind of covered the technical details.
Sure.
I know a little bit about the environment and that they're actually interested, but I approach it a little bit like dating.
Yeah.
Tell me about you. What do you like? How many kids you got?
Right.
You got any dogs? Those are the because people buy from people they know, like, and trust.
Yes.
So if we get to know each other, if they like us, and then they're gonna hopefully trust us. And that's what it's about. Because businesses don't just buy from businesses. We say this B2B sales. It's still, I buy stuff from Nate. I buy stuff from Pete. That's what we're doing. Right. And if I lose trust in you, Pete, me and Channel Hunters are done.
Of course.
Yeah.
And that's perfect. I'm going to wrap this up right here because, we had dinner earlier tonight. That's part of the reason why Nate and I are talking right now. That's why he's on this episode of Bourbon and Channel Hunters. But we talked about some things at dinner that I would have never expected to speak to you about, in a professional setting. Yeah. But I really did gain a lot of your trust. And you gained my trust as well, that's what I'm saying. And I appreciate you. I think you guys are doing a fantastic job of following up with people after we set the meetings for you. You've closed deals. You got more coming your way. And I just appreciate that you're an advocate for us because we need more people like you. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, thanks, Nate. Nate Sheen, Astoria.